Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us from wherever you might be connecting with us this evening, or morning, or afternoon, wherever you may be. We are glad you joined us, and we are looking forward to having a wonderful session today. It's evening here from Lagos, Nigeria, 5:35 p.m., and we are looking at having a wonderful session together where we'll be talking on a very important topic which everybody is much I know everybody is interested in. So we'll be going on to have a wonderful time today. It's 5:36 p.m. here in Lagos, Nigeria. I can say someone joined us from East African Eastern time, which is at 11:30 a.m. 11:36 right now. So we are happy to have you all here. So quickly, I'll be sharing with us what Mautic is for the benefit of those that might be joining us for the first time, and I'll be quickly doing that before we have the speaker to come on stage to come share with us on the topic for today. Okay, so quickly, although you are not having your microphone on now, but in case you like to speak, feel free to raise your hand. We can ask you to come join the stage and ask your questions. But in case you have a question you like to ask and you are not you don't want to come stage, you can always drop them in the question and answer section, and we'll be able to respond to all of those questions. All right. So after today's session, the recordings will be available and you can be able to rewatch them on our YouTube channel. So you can watch them from mau.tc/mm Lagos YT. Okay. So after this session, the lounge will be open where you can network and interact with other people. Just join a table, talk to one person. You might make you might make new business partner, you might make a new friends, you might connect to somebody across your own geographical location. So please try to make sure you join the lounge after this call. Okay, for benefit of those that might be wondering what Mautic is all about. So Mautic is a first world open source marketing automation platform, and is a opportunity. It still see it as a way of having everything you need for your marketing being automated in one single platform. And the beauty of it is that is free and is open source, so you can either self-host it or you can use the hosted version from Aqua. Okay, it helps you to effectively also personalize the digital experience for your customers all through their journey. So there are so many things you can do with Mautic, and one of them could be to do website tracking. You can use it to build landing pages. You can use it to build forms. You can use it for email marketing. So email marketing is one topic we'll be discussing today. So it's just one part of what you can use Mautic for. You can use it for scoring. You can use it to create dynamic content. You can use it for dashboards, analytic, and A/B testing. So in case you want to do multi-channel communication, SMS, email, push notification, all of these things you can be able to do with Mautic. So Mautic is not just email marketing software, it's more than just an email marketing software. It can do all of this and more. All right, so we are looking forward to people who will be able to contribute to Mautic and be part of this community and help this grow and get more people to know about it, and they can be able to use it also. So please join us at malt.tc /contribute if you are interested in contributing. So there are different areas you can contribute. So we have the community, we have the education, we have the marketing and the product team. I'm the lead for the marketing team. In case you are interested in marketing, please feel free to reach out to me. And Favor, who is also a co-organizer for the Lagos team, is the team lead for the education, in case you are interested in joining the education team. But you can always join the Slack team where you can be able to learn more about the community and about what we are doing in each teams. Okay, so the Lagos community. So for most people, you came through the Meetup page. So that is our official Meetup channel. But you can also join our Slack channel. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/system multiple Lagos. We have a shortened URL for that. Okay, and also in case you need help, please, we advise that you drop your help information on the forum, not on Slack. Okay, when you drop the information, when you dropped your question on forum, you can then come to Slack and say, hey, I've dropped this in regarding this question. This is the link to it in the forum, so people can go to the forum and answer those questions for you. Why we want you to do that is because it's searchable. Search engine can easily index those questions, and then it's easy for anyone who wants to ask similar question in the future. The forum can easily suggest to them, and instead of asking that question again, they can just go on to read the question you ask and the answers, and then they might be getting the solution to whatever questions they might be asking. Okay, great. So you have also knowledge base. You might want to join, read our resources. We also have our developers doc, and then you can also join the Multicast, which is the unofficial Multic podcast, which is handled by AK. AK is the co-host of that particular um, multicast, and is being organized by his company, and is also co-host, where you can also be able to get to join them. Okay, great. So in case you are looking at how you can follow the multi community, so we are available online. You can join us on our meetup channels, us on our channel. So we have at multi community on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also join us on LinkedIn, company multi community. Okay, so this event is co-hosted by Favor and myself. So you can always reach out to any of us. That's our handle on Twitter, and that's my own handle across all social media at TopSo. In case you need to reach us, we are looking forward to speakers. So if you are interested in speaking on topics related to marketing, related to marketing automation, please feel free to reach out to me. We would love to have you up stage. I would love to see you speak on our next session. Okay, please join us for our next meetup. So usually we do have this every last Saturday of the month, but we discovered that we need to be dynamic with our time so that speakers can be able to also so that we can be able to feature in more speakers. So be on the lookout for our next meetup. We will announce the date on our social media. We also announce it on our meetup page. We also announce it on Slack. So please always be on the watch out to get to know when we're having our next meetup. Good. So today, what we'll be doing next is for us to. I'm so sorry about the timing. The timing is not correct, but just know that this is the sequence of what we'll be doing today. So we have the welcome and housekeeping. I've told us about what Mautic is all about. So the next thing we'll be doing now is for the for the speaker to introduce to go on with this presentation. But before then, I'm going to introduce him. And when he does that finish, we have an update about what is happening around the Mautic project. Then we have question and answer. Then we have a closing and recap. Then we do go to the launch to network. Okay, all right. So to the topic of today. So we are having our speaker in house who is already ready here to um to dish out knowledge to us on the topic. So his name is Daniel Adeshino. He's a digital marketing strategist, and he has also been using Mautic, not just for he has used Mautic, and so he has some experience using Mautic. But today he's not going to be talking to us about Mautic, but he's going to be talking to us about what he learned when he was trying to use Mautic and other things that you need to also understand if you are going to be using email marketing Mautic, and especially in general, and the mistakes you should stop avoiding. So I know um he went through some struggles while trying to get his feet on email marketing, and these are the things he will be able to share with us on this call today. All right, so Daniel, good evening. Can you unmute?
All right. Good evening, Toby. It's
Okay.
nice to have me here, and I'm really excited
Oh, great. You're
to be
welcome.
my first time for this occasion. And I believe you can all hear me because
Yes, we
I
can
want to
hear
be
you.
sure. Okay, so once again, I'm really excited to be here, and it's an honor to be part of this wonderful community. And see, the time I got to find out about Motic about a year ago or a year and a half ago, I was thinking that what automation software out there can really meet up with my needs, and and I won't have to break the bank for it because many automation system out there that offers a lot that Mautic has offered are really pricey. So I just thought, okay, this will be a good opportunity for me. And since the time I've started my email marketing, I've seen a very big difference between the flexibility I could achieve with Mautic than the other ones. So what this is all about is not Mautic because as uh, Toby has said earlier, we are going to be discussing about my experiences with email marketing, those mistakes I made, the journey from the time I started with my online business. So, we I'm not going to bore you with a lot of stories and technicalities because I know that this is not going to be for a long time. So I want to be very brief with my presentation. So now um, we are going to be learning about the fundamentals first because I want to break it down to everyone in this call on this call. The thing that makes people open your email, those things that people need do to read your first paragraph when they open your email, perhaps engage with your email, or even perhaps they want to make a purchase from you through that email that you sent to them. And if you have offering a service, they might end up booking a session with you. So it's a lot of things that it's been wrapped up in this whole system because you are going to be able to learn how to craft your email very well. You need to learn how to you need to know what to say, how to send them, what not to say even, because if I begin to look at many videos on YouTube, many of them will teach the structure of the process and not the fundamental understanding. For someone to have a very effective copy in emails, you need to have a very important tool in your arsenal as a marketer, and that is understanding your audience and knowing exactly what to say just to make them get what you want make just to make them get the things that you want them to get from you. So once again, I'm Daniel Additional. I'm an entrepreneur and I'm an investor as well. Just as I said, I'm a digital marketer and a strategist as well in the space. So what we're going to be discussing today, before I properly tell you about myself, we're going to be covering a little about the four of them. I'm going to be spending time on each of them, but I know that this is a session that I have to wrap up within the time frame given to me. So we are going to revise the way people set up their email marketing real estate. The the problem with the way people set up their email marketing real estate from the scratch is is a thing that people don't really put into cognizance when they are starting out. So I'm going to be sharing some tips and tricks on how to go about this. We're going to learn about the psychology of email outreach. We're going to talk about the rules of email pre-engagement or engagement for a person who has been already into this marketing. And the final thing we're going to talk about is choosing the right email strategy campaign. That will be the final thing I'm going to be talking about. So, back to who I am. You see, I'm no guru, and just like you, I mean, I started out in 2018. My journey into the online space, I would, in my university days in 2006, I was studying in the university an agricultural related course, and I would just to make money online, just to make money, not online, just to make money to fend for myself back then. I would teach music to people who are willing because I was a violinist and I could teach other instruments too as well. I taught piano back then, and anyone who is willing to learn those things will pay me money every month for me to teach them. So, and I did that for the whole for my whole stay in the university, even when I finished my masters. And in 2016, while I finished with my masters, I studied landscape architecture. I was able to do a little landscape architecture with my learning in school. So I practiced it for 2 years. And one thing led to another because of some challenges I met on the way. I had to I decided in 2018 to see how I could make money online. Though I still wonder why it didn't cross my mind prior to that time that I could even make money online. But anyway, I got to the space 2018, mid 2018. So I started researching what I could do online, and I stumbled upon so many videos on YouTube, and they opened my eyes. And I saw so many job opportunities that a person could do online. So at the time, I was convinced to just start out with something, and I thought about e-commerce. I mean, the drop shipping business, and I went into it. Though with the little knowledge I had, I just did the little I could do. I knew about the way people do it then, because a lot of people would just flex uh, their 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 achievements on YouTube, and they will just say how they did it, not telling you all the back end work that they did. But anyway, I tried, and I I failed, and I was able to do some things, and I made some money, but I was gradually accumulating knowledge, because prior to that time, I never knew that email marketing was something I was going to be using to make this work for me. And by that time, I was drop shipping, not to the US like many people would do. I was drop shipping to Nigerian uh, people. So I would order the goods from the Chinese, and I'll find a courier service here that will help me deliver it. But just um, the problem I had back then, I was faced with some problem with the suppliers and problem with the courier services I used, and not to talk about the customer services. So when the problem became too much for me, I actually stopped, and I moved into something else that was easier, which was affiliate marketing. So at the time, uh, middle of 2019, I had moved into affiliate marketing. So the thing I had to do then was go into affiliate marketing, and I started getting more experienced with the way campaigns are being run to affiliate offers. I've been into the e-commerce, and I've done a little. I've built landing pages. I've been able to send traffic, but this time around, running affiliate marketing was a little different. I have to compete against the affiliate gurus out there, because I registered on Warrior Plus, JVZoo, and the competition then was very much. It was increasingly much, because the people that I was competing with were using bonuses to make their sales. And when they run campaign, they collect people's email, which they then remarket to. These were the things that I didn't know first when I got into the space, but with time I got to know. But what really got me frustrated in that aspect of work, or let me say online business, is that at a point in time I was running out of good bonuses to offer, because when I saw that the people that we are marketing to, they will only buy if they find you offering them good bonuses. So I had to just get some bonuses, but at the time I ran out of good bonuses. There are some crap bonuses, but I ran out of good bonuses, and it became a thing that frustrated me, because I knew that for me to get sales, I have to get good bonuses. And more than that, I have to be able to create my own product if I want to make real money from this uh, business, because if you get just $7 to $13 from the front end, that's all you have to get most of the time. So I had to just look at it, that is this business for me. I decided to look at the thing that I need to do about this. So what I eventually got to do was that I now stood back. I stepped backward, and I learned I learned that for me to have a sustainable business for myself, I need to figure out I need to figure out what to do to make something very sustainable for myself. So I discovered that the thing that separated any good marketer from the other is to be able to have a good marketing skill, especially your copywriting skills. And those copywriting skills were not something I paid attention to. That is what led me into email marketing, because I knew that for me to purchase anything from those affiliates that were being made, that were being called gurus at those time, it was because of their very impeccable um, email marketing uh, power that they have. And it was becoming something that I was taking note, because I knew that if I was able to get this right, I was able to make sure that any business that I get into, I'll be able to be successful. I'll be successful in it no matter what. If I am able to understand my audiences, if I'm able to message them with the right message that will resonate with them, I'm going to be getting a lot and a lot of sales. So that is what got me into this email marketing. And right now, uh, to come back to what this is all about, we're going to be talking about how to properly build your email marketing real estate. And why I said this is that many people will actually just, when buying domain name, they just buy domain name without really looking at exactly what they need to achieve with that business. If you are going into a business and you want to select a domain name, you have to select a domain name that will resonate with that business that you are so picking it for. So, and there are some websites out there that can help you select a good domain name. Maybe later in the resources, I will try to put it there. I forgot to include it here. So now, second thing that you have to note when you're selecting your domain name is that after you have selected a domain name for your business, you are not supposed to use that same domain name for your email marketing, because with time, I was I learned the hard way that using the same email will just give you a very serious headache over time, because no matter how good your emailing is, down the line you may start getting some strikes from email providers, and you can even get all your IP and domain name to be blacklisted due to some users reporting you. Maybe it's some, those things just happen. So, and if your domain reputation go down, you will soon start to get into people's spams, and that's not what you want for your original domain name, especially your .com or .net. So you can select a .io or any other um, uh, any other name that goes with that. Sometimes, if you don't have those ones available, you can just tweak those name and you get that particular same result with it. But the idea is just to choose a different domain name. So now, after choosing your domain name, you will want to go to the service provider that you want to choose. You might choose Google, and for most people that I know, they prefer using Google Workspace, formerly known as G Suite. So this one is a very good one. I recommend it. There are free ones, there are paid ones, but the reason why I still go sometimes mostly with this paid one, especially Google or the one offered by Microsoft, is this the simplicity in setting them up. There are technicalities involved in the in setting up the free ones, and might not be easy for you to manage over time. So I still stick with this since it's just $6 a month. So after signing up with your Google Workspace, there are some process that you need to follow, and you just want to go. For those who don't know this, I believe many should know this already, but I just want to go over it just to make sure that we are all on the same page. So you go to admin.google.com, is you verify your domain, and you do that with your registrar. I think I have uh, you go to your Google Workspace, you sign up, then the verification process shouldn't be a difficult thing, because you just have to either upload your verification code to your DNS records, or you upload it to the back end of your website, which Google will then recognize. Later on, you are going to be setting up your MX record. Your MX record is going to activate your Gmail for you, so that you'll be able to receive email with your user that you create from here. Thereafter, you can now set up your SPF record, your DCAM or DKIM, and DMARC record. These are very essential, and it's already becoming a standard every email marketer should adhere to in order not to be dealing with spam issues and other inboxing challenges. So I didn't put the way you set this up now because I don't want to waste too much time on these technicalities. You can actually go to Google. It is very important you set your SPF and your DCAM, especially just to avoid these email spoofers. There are people that will just use your domain to send email on your behalf, and they send spam emails. They use it to destroy your reputation. So now the next thing that I want to do, which is why we are here, is the psychology. Okay, but now before we go to that, I would like to say that when you set up everything completely, it is very important that you go to mailtester.com, mail-tester.com, and make sure you send a test email to check your sending score. If you have a sending score that's above 8/10, then you're good to go. If not, I would recommend that don't send email. Make sure that you go back and set things correctly before you continue. These are the things that I learned in the hard way. If I had not had issues with this, I wouldn't have. Because there was a time in 2019 while I was still in affiliate marketing, I tried doing some solo ad, and the solo ad I did, I ended up in people's spam because I didn't know that I had to make sure that I warm up my domain. I warm up my domain for sending, or more than that, that I must not send like more than 500 at once if you are just sending email at the first time. I've already gotten those emails. I bought them from solo ads. These are not the things I would recommend anyway, but I'm just telling you from my experience. So these are the things that destroyed my domain reputation, and at the end of the day, it got me it got it got me into a big mess. So what I eventually had later on is that I was looking at the best way to recover my domain. But anytime a domain is being destroyed, I mean the reputation, it's the process that it takes to get it back is not just worth the effort. It's too, and it's not a thing that you can guarantee that you get your reputation back. So back to what I was talking about. So this okay, I'm talking about the email psychology that we must understand. This is where these are the most important facts that I'm really going to be discussing today, because all those things I've been saying before now were just basic knowledge. But this is the real thing, because anyone going into email marketing, you don't just do it with the mind that you see people doing it, or you just want to email and you think that, because if I look at my inbox today, I can tell you I have like over 100 emails flowing into my inbox every day. So if a person who is an email marketer is emailing me, the person better be ready to come up with very solid email campaign, or let me just say, person is just going to be able to pick up something that I will resonate with just for me to open that email. So these are the things that we need to first of all talk about before we get on with this um, presentation. So now, what I want to say is that understanding people's mind when they want to when they want to communicate when you want to communicate with them via email is one of the most important things that you have to do. You have to be conscious of what is going on in their mind. I don't know about you, but I have this process of, anytime I check my emails, I look for something that resonates with me and what I think I need. Something that could potentially solve a problem for me. Conversely, I'm also looking for any red flag. Any email that seems spammy to me, I immediately delete them or unsubscribe for them and clean them from my inbox, because I want to be able to look at my inbox and see valuable things. So those are the things that you must know and understand about your prospect. So when anytime you're sending them any message, you just want to make sure that you give them something unique and useful for them to consume. And um, you want to understand that anything that they want is, if they open their email, is they are looking at it that, is this person, is this someone I know, or is it a friend to me, or is it someone I could trust, or is it a colleague, or is just a person trying to connect with me for business, that's still okay, or is it just a person who's just trying to sell something to me. So those are the things that you must keep in mind when crafting your email. So right now I have some 10 golden rules that I've been able to come up with over the years to see that a lot of people, when you abide with these rules, these golden rules, I think if you note them and you avoid some of them, you'll be able to have a very good track, and you'll be able to have a good time in your email marketing. It's a thing that I think should work in every case. If you are doing email marketing, maybe you've collected email from your landing page and you've run some traffic, you're able to get them. Or maybe you're doing cold email outreach. There are so many use cases for this. So, and I think it's a general thing that I could say that it works in all cases. So the number one thing is never try to sell them on the first email. See, people. I think this is something that everyone must understand. People will only pay you for the size and value of the problem that you solve for them. So your first message will never be and should never be to sell them. It should be to engage their interests and qualify them. So this is something that I believe that if you have it in mind, you should be able to know exactly what your prospect will look, and exactly, even if you're a new person, it's not like I don't open new people's email in my inbox. If I see something very genuine that resonate with me, I will open it regardless of who the person is, if I know him or not. But what makes me just trust a person is the way that message is being structured. At first, you cannot say that you see a girl on a date and you just ask him out the first time that you went on a date. It's weird. So the same rule apply to this. So the second is to keep, oh sorry, is to personalize your emails and the email content of your message. So you must try to make them feel like you're talking to them personally. This is something that every email marketing platform, especially Mautic, offers. You can actually use this personalization feature, and they are not there just for fun. They are very important tools that will allow you to touch your prospect more closely, because regardless of anything you write, if you are not being able to make them feel like you're talking to them personally, it's going to be hard for them to press on and go along with you. So the next one is to keep your emails straight to the point. I think this one is a no-brainer, because these days people are very busy and will not read all of your emails. If it is not engaging enough, if it is not straight to the point, you see them just getting out of that email. So it is important that you put this in the forefront of your mind. If you don't make sure that you are it in every paragraph of your emails, engaging them enough, you have to make sure that you get that email written and rewritten as long as it takes for you, because all you have to do for the first time to win a person's heart is just one shot. You might not get the second chance. So make sure that this is very important for you. Now, the next one is to have a clear message of what problem you want to solve, or the solution you provide. For example, if you are talking about, say, SEO or any other solution that you provide, don't go about listing all the features. What's really important is for them to really understand your message. If you start listing the feature, okay, this is what we have, this is what they might not even understand it, because what they will need, people buy solutions to their problem, not your product. So if you are able to get that clearly, and you're able to make sure that this get into their system, you position that message in a way that it's a win-win for them. If they get to have that solution that you provide for them, so it is something that they would desire. That's the way I think every email marketer should operate if they want to have success with their campaigns. So the next one is to make it easy for them to connect with you. See, I don't know why some email marketers choose to distance themselves from their emails. Well, for cold emails, it's a no-brainer. You want to make sure that you get replies. But for the people that are running automation, it is very important that you just look out for people who are trying to connect with you. Though I know that it's going to be more work, because if you are trying to sell some low-end product and someone is just trying to connect with you, might not be for the sake of the product. It might just be connecting you for connections. But talking about the need for connection, especially when you are selling middle ticket or mid ticket or high ticket offers, you need to be able to make it easy for them, and try to show them that you truly care about them. The money they are going to pay for you, you want to make it truly worth it for them. So the next one is to give them an irresistible offer. I mean, you give them something that they would want to connect with you. Give them a very good reason for them. Ask question or anything that is of big benefit to them. And if need be, you can even add scarcity just to make this happen. Because these are the things that will make people want to open your emails. These are the things that I believe that if anyone running an email marketing campaign should put into a arsenal, and you should be able to make use of them when necessary. The next one is to show and don't just tell. This is the way people may not always believe what you say, but they will always believe what they see when it comes to adding the trust factor. You need to show them what they can see with their own eyes. It's really going to remove the risk of them not trusting you, because I think this is very important anytime you're trying to make a sale that is kind of like a big ticket or mid ticket. They want to be sure that this person that I want to pay is really is trustworthy, and I can really trust the person with my money. So you could use a testimonial, or you can use a case study or anything, just to make sure that you convince them. So the next one is just to never use logo in the headers of your newsletter. Well, I see a lot of brands use this, but if you are trying to sell yourself, it is a thing that will give impression to anyone that you're marketing to that you're a salesperson. I understand that people want to brand themselves, but people don't care who you are unless what you have can truly help them. And some people are just put off immediately they see logo, because they just think that this person is trying to sell them. So if you connect just like a regular friend will email to them, it's going to bring more. It's going to really reduce the friction between you and them, and you are going to be able to connect with them more easily than the regular use of the headers and the newsletter format. Unless I'm going to receive an email from Google or those big brands, I don't think I will be needing any of this, except for businesses, because these days I've tried to see for myself that even if you are a Shopify store or e-commerce business and you're trying to use these letters, unless it is a newsletter, if it is something that you are trying to sell, I don't really resonate well with the use of this newsletter format type because it's automatically give me the impression that there is something out. Unless you want to sell a coupon or you want to tell me that there's a discount out there, it really doesn't work for me. Well, maybe if some other people might have a different opinion about this, but I think this is something I learned, and I've seen other people talk about it too. So I think I'm not of this. I'm not the only one with this mindset. So the next one is not to be too salesy or IP. You have to be as natural as possible. So we want to assume that we have a good, strong relationship with the prospect. Anytime you are dealing with the person that you are communicating with via email, you want to be as human as possible. You don't need to write salesy or IP stuff for them to be sold. All you need is for you to get into their minds and touch their pain point and give them the solution that you have for it. And the magic will happen. They will be the ones selling themselves. The next one is to never use, I think this is the last one, yeah. Never use technical jargon in your emails. And this one is, I think, for you to understand, a lot of people want to use some technical terms in their email, and they will want to write stuff that will make them seem smart. And this is not a good way for a good email marketer to operate. If you want to really be a successful email marketer, if you want to really quickly get that message passed, you must write stuff that even a 10-year-old would understand. Because though I know that there will be a time that those jargon will come in handy, but at the time of the start of your relationship, you want to avoid those things. You want to connect like you're connecting with a friend. So you don't want to let any friction be um, created in any way. So I think these are the 10 golden rules that I would like to share. And before I go to the last one, I will say that anytime you feel like writing an email, if you're able to look on these factors that I just listed to you and see if they apply to that email and try to compare the email that you write without all of this in place, maybe you can do a test and see for yourself the result you have. So, the last thing I'm going to be discussing today is the funnel breakdown, just to see how it works before you make a sale with your email campaign. You have the top of the funnel, that's the tofu. You have the middle of the funnel, that's the mofu, and you have the bottom of the funnel, which is the bofu. At the first stage, you have the awareness stage, and this is where you are going to be helping your prospect to engage with your product while you are leveraging the use of your social media. You are leveraging the use of SEO, ads, videos, or direct email. See, this time you are just educating your subject. And while you are running your email campaign, the first set of emails should just, if they don't know about the product just yet, you want to create an awareness. You want to give them the education that they need for them to be totally interested in that particular product or service that you're selling to them. So with that time, it guide them. If they are really interested, you begin to qualify them, and they begin to you begin to know that from the people who are interested, when they begin to open your email, then those at this time at that time you are going to be putting in the middle of the funnel where you're going to be giving them the interest. So at this time, you're going to be giving them the case studies, you're going to be giving them the newsletters that they need, you are going to be giving them more videos. And this time, you will give them the opportunity to see for themselves if they still want to really go along purchasing that service. They will begin to evaluate. And the evaluation might come from them where maybe they might start Googling it or maybe start getting some review about them. That shows that they are paying attention and they are ready to go into they're likely to buy from you. From that time, when you begin to see it, you begin to bring them down the funnel where you are going to be giving them some free trials or demonstrations. So this is where you want to get them to. Well, you don't want to get them bottom from the bottom to the top. You want to get them from the top to the bottom. That is the process I think you should consider when you are trying to structure your email campaign. So at that time, they are hot and they are ready to purchase from you. That is just the way I think it works. That's the way it has been working for me in my digital marketing agency that I run now with my business partner. So right now, this is just what I think is valuable for me to share with you today, and I think I think you should have learned something. So to just recap everything we've talked about, we'll talk about as far as the importance of getting your email marketing system set up the right way. Talk about the technicalities in setting up your email. I mean, the Google workspace setup, all those things that I mentioned. Now, we talked about the psychology of email right outreach, what make people open, what to put into your mind, or what you try to go into the consciousness of your subject when you're writing and begin to think what are the things that they want, how what is the pain they're experiencing that you need to solve. Those are the things that you must first of all make a thorough research on. Then we talked about the 10 golden rules of engagement to live by. Then the final things we talked about is the right approach to your email campaigns. So that will be all. Thank you. And if anybody have any question, we'll talk about it. So
All right, Daniel, that was very awesome. Thank you so much for giving us that list of 10 things to avoid when you are um, running, when you are sending out your emails. And I must say, I've learned one or two things, which I also believe people on this call have also learned. So if you have a question, please drop it in the chat box, in the question and answer chat box. But in case you would like to speak, you want to come up stage to ask your question, please feel free, not signify, and then I'm going to invite you to come to the backstage and also ask your question in person. All right. So it's really been a very wonderful session. So while we are waiting for question, Daniel, I want you to still be on standby. But quickly, I would like to share some updates regarding Mautic. So we had the latest Mautic release during the course of this week. So in case you've not updated your Mautic yet, please go do that. And it's backed with a lot of fixes that you might be interesting for you. Then also coming up soon is the Mautic Conference Global, which is happening in June. But the call for speakers is out already, and please feel free to apply. You can go to the website mautic.org, go to the blog section. You will see the blog, the post announcing that, or you can also check our social media and do. You will see the link to the call to action, call to the link to read more about how you can apply to speak at Multi Conference Global. Please apply. We would like to see you speak. And like I also said earlier, we also like to have you come speak here at Mautic Meetup Lagos. So feel free to reach out to me if you like to speak in one of our upcoming events or meetups. Please feel free to reach out to me. And also we look out for volunteers. We look out for people who would like to help us to plan this event, especially the conference that is coming up in June. And then each community, each team within the Mautic Mautic needs people who would like to help with education team, marketing team, who would like to help with the product team. If you can write code, you can join the product team. If you're interested in things related to marketing, please join the marketing team. The community teams are the one who plan the event and also make the community engaging. So if you are someone that likes to do such thing, please join the community team. You can also join us on Slack. We'll be looking forward to you joining us. And also we will be looking forward to you participating as well. Don't just use Mautic, please contribute. Also be contributing back to Mautic. All right, so that is basically all I will be able to share with Mautic updates. So now let's go back to question and answer. Okay, so Daniel, let me appreciate your time again for this wonderful session. It's really inspiring, and it was right on point. I was thinking maybe we will be using more than 1 hour, but I'm glad when I saw that. Oh, you and I like the dynamic at which you started the presentation. Although at first I was scared whether the introduction is going to take a whole long, but then you're able to blend the introduction into your presentation. Then you're able to pick it one after the other, and then it was going on, and that was really really good. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so let me ask you a question, and you did mention something regarding having a separate domain compared to using the main domain which you use for your business, for your email, because of the fear of getting banned. But I wouldn't know. Maybe if you can explain more better, because do you think people might trust you if you are using a different domain, different from what you actually use for your website? I wouldn't know. I'm just quite a bit confused in that area.
Yes, it's a practice. If you are able to just look at some people who have been into this um, email marketing space, especially, you are going to find out that this has been the practice. When people buy domain, the domain is there for you to actually protect, especially from blacklisting. Though the problem of blacklisting is not just something that I can attribute to the person who is using the domain. It might be the problem with the shared hosting that the person is having, because it's all about the IP. If you are having a shared IP where someone have already used that IP for something like spam, so it is automatically even going to get you in the red zone. So now back to this that we are talking about. This is a thing that happens to all email marketers. There are times that you just find some people reporting you even without you offending them. They will just look at that message and click on report as spam. And you don't know that those little report is destroying that um, domain that you have or the IP that you already own. So sometimes I used to recommend that you buy a very separate IP for yourself because of this. But as regards to the trust, the thing about your email marketing is that anytime you put in that domain and you put in that link to yourself, to link to your own page, link to everything that is just linking back to you in your emails, definitely they will know that it's just the same person who is just using a separate domain. I've seen a lot of email marketers email me. I know that I know their website, but they just email with different. It's just the regular practice now because of the problem of the domain reputation.
All right, thank you so much, Daniel. So, Daniel, I have some questions from our audience. Okay, and the first one is saying, how do you suggest using the brand logo, etc., in the email, if not at the top of the email? How to balance folks knowing it's from your brand with the point you raised about sharing the useful info more prominently? I hope you understand that.
I'm trying to get the balance of okay, let me go about it. I also suggest using the brand logo. I mean, the brand logo, sometimes it's very important to just make sure that you get people to know that you are the one talking. The brand logo isn't the problem. The newsletter kind of feel is the issue, because the person who have decided not to use is or a picture and decided to use a brand will have a tone of voice. That tone of voice is something I would try to find. If the tone of voice is someone who is really talking like a human, I will resonate quickly with the person. So it doesn't even matter if the person uses the logo or not. The thing that I'm looking at is sometimes when you see some email and what you first of all see is the header trying to load up. That enough is just going to tell me that this person is just trying to sell me something. Unless I'm a buyer of that product already, that is not going to work. I think maybe if I've been able to
Okay. All
understand.
right, Ruth. In case you still want to more clarification, maybe you can just drop it in the chat box so that maybe the speaker can be able to share more. And if you don't mind, I can also bring you upstage to ask the question. But then, let's quickly go to the next question. So the next question is coming from Lance, and Lance is asking, how can Mautic be used for a marketing company that has multiple clients, that is multiple domains that can't have the data matched? All right. So, Lance, what I know, or Evans, whichever one is fine. What I did know is that you can self-host Mautic for yourself, for your each of your clients. So you can decide to have single instance for each of your clients, right? I know there was a topic coming up about this during the week, where someone said they have a single Docker for each of their clients. I also know that was coming from, I can't remember the name of the person actually, but I also know Joseph were also talking about having to host for each of their clients in a container. So if you have a technical person that can do all of this for you, you can either use a Docker, multi-Docker, or you can either use containers to host for each of your clients, and then have their data separated so that it doesn't get mashed together. And if you think that might be a lot of work, maybe you might want to go for the self-hosted version by Aqua. You can check it up on the Aqua website. I wouldn't know if that answer your questions. If not, please try to respond again. Okay, so you asking again if, but you can put 20 to 30 instance of Matic on a website without bulk the server down, or isn't that a lot of overhead? Well, I felt you might need to talk to your engineer to help you more about this, but it all depends on the number of volumes of emails that you might be sending. That might determine how much resources your server might be consuming. So you need to be able to understand how much volumes of information or emails or activities or campaigns that you'll be running. That will determine how much of this that will happen. Okay. All right. So okay, I think there's another question. Okay, all mid-sized company. All right. So Evans, I see you can have a lot of questions regarding this. I'm not a technical person in quotes. Okay, so maybe you might want to ask this on the forum so that you can get contributions from more technical people. They can be able to advise you more better on what you should do and how you should go about it. All right. Okay, great. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us again this afternoon. This evening is evening here in Nigeria, and some people are joining us from the all over the world, whether in the morning or afternoon, or whether midnight, wherever you may be. We appreciate your time joining us this evening. But in case you like to ask more questions or you want to network with one or more people, I can see we have Marvin's here. We have Favor here. Favor is the co-lead for the Mautic Meetup Lagos, and she's also the team lead for the Mautic Education team. I'm the marketing education team lead, and we also have Ruth Chisley also on this call, and she's the project lead for Mautic. So, in case you'd like to speak with any of us, please join us in the networking session. After we end this session, you can join the table, ask us questions, talk to one or two of us in case you want to before you go on. The recording of today's activities will be on our YouTube channel. You can always come back there and watch it if you want, or share with other people so that you can also be able to do it. So one other thing I want you to do is please make sure you join the Mautic mailing list. We would love to have you to join the Mautic mailing list so that we can be able to also have you be part of been knowing more about what is happening within the Mautic community. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. And please feel free to join us in the lounge. We will love to have you meet with one of us or any other people on this program today. And we love to hear from you. Thank you and do have a wonderful time. Have a wonderful networking, and bye for now.